It's time to get a little less serious about wrestling. This is the Alternate Commentary Table with lifelong friends.
Notice your difference in size.
And lifelong wrestling fans.
Each is a very capable performer, and each is a little too clever to give the other boy much of an advantage.
Mitch Hontzias.
Credits himself with a lot of power.
And Dimitri Korolis.
So that he got all that power from drinking raw olive oil all through his youth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the boys, back together again. I wish that we had video so there could be this big reveal where Mitch is getting chair-shotted by some evil doer who just could not stand to see him happy. And where's been Dimitri this whole time? Where has he been? He's been around listening to every single person who's been a part of the ACT, the Alternate Commentary Table, brought to you by the McGuire on Wrestling podcast feed, anywhere where you're streaming your podcast. McGuireShow.com. Keep doing the search for the merch. I know I do. Team MOW on the Facebook page. I'm going to get to all of you. And what am I missing? I'm green. It's been a while. Is that?
I think you got it.
Is that it all?
That's it. Oh, wait.
Ooh.
Acknowledge me.
Oh! I want to acknowledge every single person. I want to acknowledge the daddy, Mike McGuire. I want to acknowledge G.W. Joe, the El Original.
Yes.
I want to acknowledge Tips McGee, the Matty Smith, the South Carolina Jorge. Oh, my goodness, guys. Thank you very much. First of all, Mitch.
Yeah.
Way to hold down the fort.
Thank God for the GWO. Couldn't do it alone.
The GWO, excellent. You know, I liked you took a lot of shots at me. Not too much, just enough.
Just enough.
I felt you could have done a little more.
You needed to know your place in the line. That's what I felt.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, it was good. No, it was, look, there was a lot to talk about.
Oh.
There was, the shows were excellent.
Well,
and thank you, everyone. No, they were good, man. I got to say, it's nice to be on vacation and you're like, okay, you take a break or whatever, but damn it, I miss it, man. I was like, I got to talk about this.
I know. And it was good. Like, during the summer months, you never know what's going to come up, but I was lucky. I had some great topics and I had some great guests to come and join. And, it was fun. Bottom line, it was great. I thank everyone once again. And it's time. Listen, Tips McGee.
Okay.
Can we just acknowledge him? That was amazing. For those that are on the MOW page, and if you're not on it, now's your time to get on to find out who the real Ouzos are. It was too good. Too good.
If that doesn't make a t-shirt somehow.
You got to.
Like something. A poster. You know what? A poster. Daddy, we need posters.
I'm taking that. I'm going to make a shirt, and it's got to be a cutoff shirt. It can't be a shirt with sleeves. It's got to be a cutoff shirt.
It's got to be a workout shirt.
A workout shirt, yeah.
A workout shirt.
That's it.
And then on the back, since day Enna-ish.
Yeah.
Right? GW, that's right. He's like, you need the tagline.
That's right.
We worked on it. Again, that's all on the Team MOW Facebook page, you guys. That's where the banter happens. That's where it's our, how WWE had like the Power Center?
Right.
Or it's like the developmental camp. Like this is where the magic gets created before it makes the main roster.
Agreed.
Being the McGuire on Wrestling podcast feed. It's been great. I'm back. Things are happening.
Yes.
You just take the floor because the problem with being away is so many things happen. And where do we go? Where do we start? What do we do?
This is the beauty of this actual podcast. There's a script, but there's no script. I don't know where to go. Could we start with Raw? It wasn't anything. SmackDown? A little disappointing last night. We got to go to AEW. You got to go to the AEW because, like the blood and guts, it wasn't a pay-per-view. I was texting you when you got back.
Yeah,
I would go,
yeah.
This is what WWE is missing. They need a fight, a show like you think you're watching a pay-per-view, but it's not a pay-per-view.
Right.
That match, the double ring, Hell in the Cell type of atmosphere coming down, but on the main stage, on the Dynamite show, that's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what WWE needs.
I loved everything. Like the creative got together and it was basically like I was watching the Olive Garden.
Right.
They have everything on the menu.
They got everything. That's right.
And it's endless. Yeah. And it just keeps coming.
More breadsticks.
More breadsticks, please. It's like we got 2 and then there's another breadstick coming in and another one. It was like War Games, Hell in a Cell meets the Royal Rumble in an I Quit match at No Mercy. And I loved everything.
Exactly.
The only thing.
Right.
The only thing.
Yeah.
that I wish that they did is a little mystery partner would have been nice.
That would have. Well, I think a lot of people thought that because of Adam Page taking his time coming down.
Right. See, that was cool. It's like,
Is he? He's double handing him. Yeah.
You know, that's all I got to say.
All I'm going to say is
And
this.
one improvement I would make. Sorry, one improvement. So it's like one team can't always have the advantage. So you go 2,
right.
Then you get the 2-on-1.
Right.
Then the other person comes and matches. That team should get a 3-on-2
right.
until they match. Then it becomes 4-3, 5-4,
right.
5-5, and then both people at. That's what I would have done.
I don't, again, it's like the Royal Rumble. You don't know, like, and what does it matter, by the way, when you know who the participants are going to be? Does it really matter who's first and who's last and all that? Like, I don't quite get it myself.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what they do now to get blood and guts, like really blood and gutsy, to like get everything,
right.
is you elimination chamber it now.
Right.
So now you have the whole same setup.
That's right.
But now on the outside, like you have water slides.
Yeah.
Where like a guy has to slide in the ring and they're held in the chamber up in the rafters.
Right.
So then it's like,
See, that would be more fun. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Swerve, when Swerve came down, I kind of felt bad for him because he looked like all of us trying to get into a nightclub. He just couldn't get in. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter
They
who he
locked the
knows.
door on him. They're like, sorry, buddy, you can't come in.
Yeah.
And he had to break in, right? You know what I mean?
It's like, I don't care who you are. If you're not on the list, I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter. You can't get in. What I didn't realize about that match until that night was that you had to either surrender or you had to submit. I didn't realize that. Me, South Carolina George, and Dimitri on a text feed together. Let's just say we had our own alternate scenario of how the match should have ended and who was finishing it off. But
very inappropriate and not meant for cancel culture.
Probably be arrested. Yeah, exactly.
Not good.
But we had some fun with it. What did you think of the match overall? Like, meaning, like, here's my problem with the match. Okay, it was all done. They said, they Team AEW won, but what did they win? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you get out of this?
Okay, the match itself, I'll tell you what I did like about it. Yeah. Usually when you get like those crazy hardcore matches,
sure.
I kind of look and they're a little cringeworthy, and it's like, okay, now you're just like trying to make someone bleed for the sake of bleeding. It's
right.
It's like when they bring in like those fluorescent or incandescent lights or whatever they are, and there's a lot of that going on, and you're like, okay, like there's no story within the story in the wrestling. This one I felt had that.
Right.
I like it. I think Jack Perry's dead.
I think he's dead.
Yeah. Hold on. The chair shot?
Yeah. Oh, buddy. I mean, me and my moniker of the chair, I even felt sorry for the guy on the chair shot.
That was rough.
That was a little hard.
It was a little much. The dousing in gasoline. Look, I like it.
I like it too.
But if it was me,
right,
I would have had Darby Allin like douse the ring with gasoline in a line,
right?
Maybe up to him,
right?
And then him lighting the match. And if there was like a slow burning fire that was like creeping up, and he's like,
that's actually a good idea.
I quit, and then he steps on it. Right? That would have been great too.
Yeah, it was. Listen, I mean, to your point, and actually, Mike's talked about it before. I'm not the biggest fan of all the blood and guts and all that stuff. I don't really like it that much.
Yeah.
I've said it before. The tax in the mouth, I think, is like the most brutal thing I could see somebody do to each other.
Right.
Because even though we know they're not totally smashing them in the face, there's got to be a little bit of a touch. And that tack hitting your gum line, I mean, if you got gingivitis on top of that, it's not good.
Mitch, I am afraid of eating hard rice. Heaven forbid I chip a tooth.
That's what I'm saying.
Never mind a tack.
Forget about it.
Or tax.
No, okay, so now it's over. So what does the elite team now try to get revenge? Like, what? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, what did this really solve? Are they all like just going to go to their separate corners and pretend this never happened? It's over, guys, done?
At least they didn't put it on first.
Right.
At least it was a main event material.
I bet you there was a lot of fighting behind the scenes going, no, this is going first. No, it can't.
It set up a little storyline.
Right.
But I got to talk this about storyline. I'm loving AEW lately.
Well, yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
they're on, for me, they're on a heater.
I agree.
Okay. But can they stop like overdoing like, Adam, what are you doing? Stop it. Stop.
I don't know, man.
You're not doing it. We told you. First of all,
Yeah.
if you're going to do the mic to sell the story, maybe you're not selling enough story in the ring.
That's a good
Number
point.
one. Number
Right.
two, give that mic to Okada. It's the only guy I want talking.
Absolutely.
It's the only guy that should be talking next to the Briscoe.
Right. Now, the Briscoe, I told you guys when Cody won his championship that the real champion, the real story was Mark Briscoe. And if he didn't prove to you that he is the champion of champions across all the major promotions right now, I don't know what else to tell you. That guy is just fun to watch.
He's fun to watch.
He's like a Tasmanian devil with no teeth. It's just fun.
They found something with him.
Yeah, I think so.
They really did.
You know?
Get this guy on a little more prime time. Well, no, they do, but I'm just saying.
Let me ask you this. The MJF and the Will Ospreay actually started off the whole AEW, right?
Oh, by the way, you and GW Joe talked about that match. And you did a little thing about it. It was excellent.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Just want to throw that out there.
Well, we appreciate that.
More Joe than you, but yeah, it was great.
Well, no, I mean, I control the GWO, so it was more me than him.
Yeah. We got to talk about that.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. Just like Solo now controls the Bloodline,
right?
I control the GWO.
Right.
It's very simple.
Right.
Acknowledge me.
Okay.
Now. Just joking.
Okay.
All right. So you start with the MJF coming down. I got to admit, I like how he's just gone completely rogue and completely heel. Like there is no, because I kind of enjoyed him when he was kind of in that middle zone, in that gray area of being fun, good and bad. You know what I mean? But now that he's back to his old self, that's cool. I'm loving that new U.S. belt. I don't care what it, listen, international, great. I get it. You guys do your London shows and all that, but that is a nice belt. Hey, WWE. In one shot, they made a nicer belt than you guys did.
It's a better U.S. belt.
Much better.
I loved it too.
Yeah.
I loved it too.
Yeah. And then Will went and got the old belt. So this is the way I look at it. Why fight? You keep the international belt.
Yeah.
And MJF will keep the U.S. belt.
There you go. It's
done.
easy.
And you know what's smart about it? I mean, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but maybe they did and they didn't. Using the whole, like, obviously the political angle of going, no, this is a U.S. belt. This is staying in the U.S. We're not international. I thought it was smart. I thought it was smart. Yeah.
And only MJF could kind of pull something like that off, right?
Right.
Okay, here's a question for you. Maybe it's an alternate scenario, but we'll do it now.
Well, okay.
Okay. If you could be, so there's the international, intercontinental, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you could be a champion of any continent,
right?
Which one do you pick? Are you the North American, South American, European, Asian? Who are you? African?
African. I was just going to say African.
You're the African
I feel
champ.
like, in a few years, they say there's going to be more people in Africa than anywhere else. And I feel like if I'm going to be the champion of a continent, it's got to be Africa.
See, I agree.
And I think I would dominate in
because
Africa.
I think so. I don't think you could be denied in Africa. I would be the African champion because that also means that you're the champion of the wild game.
That's right.
Like that means you've bested a lion.
That's right. Exactly.
Just like the lion of Nemea and Hercules.
There you go. What else do you need? This is all you need. What are your thoughts on MJF playing a little bit? You know what I don't like? How he runs away from Will Ospreay all the time. Like, I don't like that. Like, I know some people do it, and it's just part of the game right now. But him running away every time Will Ospreay runs into the ring, it's not MJF-ish. It's not his thing.
Right.
To be a scaredy cat, to run away. I don't like it.
I like when heels do that because it just gives them more heat.
Right.
And they're like, oh, you son of a gun, right? I do like it. But I know where you're going because it's like, if you just beat a guy,
right,
you know you can beat him. Why not just beat him again?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Why
saying.
not?
And, when me and GW Joe were talking about it, one of my favorite things that MJF said in that match, he's like, I beat him up in very quickly. Like he kept saying, even though it took an hour.
Dude, I thought...
Right? Like little things like that I thought was hilarious.
Okay, MJF, if you really wanted it, right? Because it's still fresh in my mind. I was in Tennessee. You guys. A lot of things happened in the Americas.
Tell me about it.
Okay.
But you can't.
You can't. I'm just saying, maybe MJF should have, because I like what he did. He's like, I beat him quickly. Maybe if he had an accent, like a New Yorkian, right. I beat him quickly. It was the quickest defeat ever. Like if he came out.
That's true. If he did that.
In a Halloween costume of a large political figure.
Right.
Caricature of sorts.
It would be cool.
Not to name names.
Right. No, you can't.
He would be the most like that would have been excellent.
It was, you know what?
It was the greatest defeat ever. I defeated Ospreay quickly.
Can I just say that?
So this is the U.S. belt, not the international belt.
It all worked. You're absolutely right.
You.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you.
So now it's set up. They are going to take on each other in London when they get there. in All In.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the belt will change again? See, this is the thing with the AEW. Where in WWE, what I'm starting to figure out is that when you win the belt, you basically get it for 6 months minimum. Minimum 6 months, maybe minimum a year. Yeah. AEW, I can't figure it out.
It's crazy.
It's everyone's, and I like that. That's what I do like. It's like the belt is meant to be moved around. It's not meant to stay in one location, for example. Like, as much as I love the Roman Reigns run and the Gunther run, to some degree, it also killed it to some degree, too.
No, I disagree with you there. I know what you're trying to say, but I disagree with you there. I don't mind title changes. I do mind when the belts are disrespected. At least in WWE, they respected the belts again. The champion was a champion, both Intercontinental, WWE. Here, you change belts, you got it, but it's the belt then becomes now irrelevant, and it's also irrelevant when you have 50 million of them.
Right.
By the way, when is All In? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
they're gonna need they got to start promoting it more.
Dude, last year this was like the hype wrestling event of the of recent years, outside of WrestleMania. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this year I'm like, well, who's got what and who?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How awesome! You've been calling it for years, Toni Storm. She is.
Come on.
Like, I was at Dynamite, watched it firsthand. What happened to her? A couple weeks she's gone. She comes back. But the Mariah May and the Toni Storm, this what do you want to call it? This storyline, love it. Love it. And then last week in the double ring, she takes off that mask, and the way she's staring at her, she's still in character. She's still doing it. It's so good. It's so good.
Dude, this is it's crazy. It's crazy for me that, like, Toni, it's not crazy, actually. I don't even know why I say it's crazy. Dude, Toni Storm's had the best overall storyline in WWE or AEW, excuse me. Period.
Yeah.
Like the last year plus.
And this is where Money Monet and DMD and Tony Khan,
like, not buying it.
You guys got to all sit down. So they go to San Diego Comic-Con, which is like the biggest thing for comic people and all that fun stuff, right? They have the press conference, and then she comes out, Money Monet comes out, and she's like dressed as Poison Ivy. And DMD and her try to go at it. And if you guys haven't seen it, and if you did, but you missed this one part I'm about to say, go back and watch because it's awesome. Toni Storm is always in character. So the two girls almost went at it, and then she grabs her chair, Toni Storm, and holds it against herself to protect herself. But the way she does it is so glorious, so good.
She can't miss.
She can't miss, you guys.
Yeah, like she needs to be like the literal poster child of AEW. I'm not joking. I love it.
But what did you think of them announcing the match now? Like, Tony Khan made it official. They're going to go at it All In. But he did it in that kind of way at Comic-Con. Like, to me, it's a little.
Yeah, don't throw cheese on nothing on a plate that doesn't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah, I agree. Don't do it.
Tony Khan, just relax a little bit.
He can't help himself.
He can't.
He can't.
He can't.
He likes, here in Calgary, I don't know for other people that have gone to Dynamite events, and Mike told me that he does this actually quite often. He'll come out and talk to you. He'll come out and he came out and he's like, hey, Calgary, how's it going? It's me, Tony Khan, blah, blah, blah. I don't see. Triple H doesn't do that, I'm pretty sure. No. And I'm pretty sure Vince didn't do that back in the day.
No.
So I don't know why Tony's doing it. Like, on one end, good. Maybe you want people to recognize and figure out who you are. But on the other side, the true wrestling fans know who you are. You don't need to do it. So I'm kind of in the middle, but more to the don't do it side.
Yeah, just be like like the commissioner of the NFL.
Right. Exactly.
Like, that's it.
That's
like,
a good point.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
I don't, like, he's cheesy.
He's cheesy.
He's cheesy.
Speaking of cheesy, Cody Rhodes. So he's on this Japanese tour.
First of all,
what happened?
You mean the Cody Rhodes that you finally gave a little acknowledgement to last week?
GW Joe told me he's a nice guy outside the ring. Outside the ring, I can't do anything about it.
All I heard and all I got out of it.
Outside the ring.
Listen, unless I missed something in the episode, it seems to me you like him now.
No.
That's what I got out of it.
Outside the ring, I'll respect him. He sounds like that kind of guy. He's a nice guy. He's signing autographs. He's kissing babies and taking pictures. All that stuff, great.
Right.
In the ring, him and Tony Khan together are the cheese fag. That's why he left AEW. Okay. I'm now convinced he left AEW because he goes, wait a minute, I'm cheesier than you. I can't let your cheese get on my cheese.
There's only one room on this cheese board for cheese, and it's going to be me.
and I'm the stinkier cheese.
Yeah, he's the Cody Gruyere.
That's right. Exactly. Very well. He's like, no.
Yeah, Camembert Rhodes.
So the only good thing about SmackDown last night, I'll be quite honest, is that Cody wasn't really there, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's with this whole alone stuff, by the way?
I don't know.
Can we go SmackDown?
Yeah,
Can I tell you
of
the one thing that stood out to me that I sit there and said, why do you guys not get this?
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, the Jade Cargill, they're getting jumped. Hold on. They know it's coming.
Right.
You guys are a team.
Right.
You wanna be champions.
Right.
Why are two of you looking down the same ramp like one person's gonna miss something if someone doesn't come out? No. Listen, I need one of you to look that way and one of you to look this way.
It seems
and
to be.
it would have never happened.
True.
You know, there would have been a back nudge. They're coming from this side. But no, you see, that's
They
an
fell for the
uncoordinated
old
effort.
music in the front, got you from the back.
It was the mullet of attacks.
It was.
It's very deceiving.
What I like, though, is this. I liked it and I didn't like it. I'll be honest. This is where I kind of feel bad. So I'm sure some people heard Bobby Lashley's out. They might have axed him from what I understand at WWE, right? He's gone.
Okay.
So the Street Profits are left hanging again. They're not sure who they are. They don't have an identity again. They don't know.
They should be these street break-evens. There's
no profit.
No profit happening.
No revenue coming this way. But they almost did it. So they go into the tag team elimination match, which, by the way, okay, when you play a game of basketball, King's Court, right? You win, next guy comes up, with tag team King's Court that they were doing yesterday, I'm not the biggest fan because it's not easy to be that you go first and then you got to go through 4 other teams. That's crazy, right?
It's not fair.
It's not fair. And I want to know, why was the bloodline, by chance, of course, at the end, which is fine, right? And how is it that Jacob Fatu has the power of the universe all of a sudden and just beats up everybody?
Yeah, he's He-Man.
He is. He literally can't do any wrong. Like, buddy, his moonsault is better than Tiffany Stratton's. It's better. I'm just saying.
Stop.
It's good.
Stop.
It's good.
Stop.
In alternate scenario, you'll find out it's good.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So now you got them vying for the belt. Love that angle. But the poor Street Profits, they were right there. They were right there again.
You know what? They've been there for years and they've done nothing.
Yeah.
Have they ever won a belt?
No, I don't think they've ever won it.
I don't think they have. They might go down as like the Dan Marinos of the tag team division.
Yeah, at this point, they can't ever win.
Yeah, like now it's a matter of like, no. Where Roman Reigns had it for 4 years. Yeah. It's like, no, they can never do it.
They never
ever.
Allowed. Yeah.
Ever.
And then there's a big hype for a WrestleMania in like 5 years.
And they lose.
It. It looks like they're about to get it, and they lose.
To Pretty Deadly.
Oh.
You know, I said I would boycott.
Right. Why? Why did you say that?
I said if Pretty Deadly can't get a championship push, I'd boycott SmackDown because I'm getting upset.
Well, they're going to get it. I mean, they just got back. They just got back together.
Just saying.
I mean? Yeah. They got some good moves. Yeah. I saw some of the moves they were putting together. It's good. How is the OC still around?
Yeah, what's up with that?
And what happened to what's his face? Soccer hair guy. What's his name? AJ Styles. What happened? Where'd he go? I know he went to Japan to fight, and is he coming back?
Maybe he's back at the gym.
I'll bet you he's working out.
Let's just say he took out his bicycle and he's cycling.
It's funny because Randy's not around.
Randy's not
either.
around so much either.
Interesting is right. Okay, big thing right now. SummerSlam's next week. We'll talk about that, the matches that are prepared for that. Do you find that SummerSlam's early this year? I find it's a little early this year, isn't it?
I felt it. It's
an early SummerSlam.
Is that the summer
solstice? What's happening?
It's an early slam.
It's an early slam.
That sounds like a Denny's breakfast.
Just because, if you do it at the end of summer or the end of August, I feel like, that's a good time to have it.
Yeah.
They're obviously doing it early. And I mean, nothing says summer like Cleveland. So they are, that's where the main event is.
Yeah, summer, Cleveland, the summer in Cleveland. I mean, where else are you going to go?
Hey,
the coast?
Exactly.
Come on. The thing I got to say is WWE should have a promotion with Denny's and have the Summer Slam.
Yeah.
Thinking like 4 pancakes, 2 sausages.
Sounds great.
Bacon, the whole thing.
My question to you is, do you think that Roman or any of the other bloodline idea, because no one really knows what's going to happen. I've seen some things on the internet where it's going to, obviously, the Usos are coming back and this and that, but it's still very early. Do we see any of that stuff starting to percolate?
You can't. Yeah, something's going to happen.
think so?
I just don't know what, right? And is it time for Roman to come back
I
to
think
start?
it's too early.
Just
like this Slam.
I think so too. I think that's more of like a Royal Rumble-ish.
Survivor Series maybe,
type deal,
or
right?
just a nonchalant.
But then again,
Raw.
hold on. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, you touched
like
on
the one in
something.
Calgary.
Then again, Survivor Series. What if the old bloodline and the new bloodline do a classic Survivor Series match? And
that's
so
right.
maybe you come in on
So
the
then
Slam.
you gotta come in around September the 9th.
Is there word on Brock? Like, is Brock Lesnar, is his name floating around for an appearance here?
You know
I
what?
thought I heard that somewhere.
Again, that's what.
Is that
You can't use that.
Oh, you can't.
Because I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I was gone.
Yeah, it's,
I just heard.
yeah, we're good.
New news in the Americas might be different
Yeah,
in Canada.
it's much
I'm
different.
still 2 hours ahead, technically.
Okay. Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, so I think, the SummerSlam, might, there's going to be a surprise. I look forward to it. The other thing, too, is now you got to compete with what is AEW's WrestleMania equivalent.
Right.
So you got to you got to one up.
I agree. I don't know. The last thing I wanted to bring up, and it was the only thing that I actually cared about on Raw.
LA Knight.
No. It was Dominic, Rhea, and Liv. Now, he told her he hates her. I don't know what to say here because this has got to, if it's a ploy, he's conniving. He's conniving. You can't, on national TV, you say you hate her. It's a big play by them. Maybe he's with Rhea. What if Rhea, everyone's talking about it on the internet, Rhea and the Jey Uso hooking up. What? Matching together somehow.
Something's going on.
So everyone's like looking this way, but something's happening this way.
The old bait and switch.
The old bait and switch.
That's why you got to look behind the ring. They're not always coming down the ramp, Mitch.
I know, right?
I don't know what's going on here, but Dom,
Yeah.
at this point, you got to go for it.
100%. Shoot your shot, bro.
Listen, every man knows exactly what we're talking about.
That's right.
You got to go for it.
You got to do it.
It's lose-lose either way,
I agree.
but at least try to win while losing.
That's well said.
Go for it.
That's it. Just saying. Last thing we'll talk about on Raw. It's set. It's going to be McIntyre, CM Punk at SummerSlam. We'll talk about it next week. But Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. Wow, I didn't see this coming. Do you like this?
I do. And I'll tell you why. Because, again, we're all looking this way.
Right.
But something might happen that way.
Or that way.
Who screws who
Right.
and why?
Yes.
And how?
Right.
Because this is what I like about it. Because it's like, I love every part of this, Mitch. I love every part of it.
It's good.
Because you're going to be there and be like, well, is Rollins there? Because it's in our face. They both hate CM Punk.
They
hate everything about CM Punk.
All right. We got to get to the alternate
do they?
scenario. We got to get to the alternate scenario here.
Okay.
We go. Right now, the Olympics are going on. So I was wondering, of the Olympic events that are going on, which wrestler would do well in which event?
Oh, cool.
Here
Okay.
we go. I'll throw a couple of names. You just tell me what you like.
Sure.
Here we go. Damian Priest.
I think Damian Priest would do well in, 100-meter swimming.
100. You know what? He's lengthy.
Yep.
I like that one. What about MJF?
Ooh, okay. MJF, I could see him, the rings,
The rings.
the Olympic rings.
He's got the strength
Yeah,
for it.
I think he's got the strength, good frame,
Good
stocky.
stocky.
Okay, let me tag you in.
Sure. Gunther was the next one on my list. I'll say for Gunther, it's got, you know what? I know it sounds kind of obvious. Wrestling. He's got to be, what else am I going to put him in?
Yeah, that's right.
And he's got this, he's Dolph Lundgren, right?
Yeah.
He's that guy. Let me give you last one. Mark Briscoe, our champion.
Oh, Mark Briscoe. Give that guy the shot putter, the discus.
Yes.
You know, maybe the discus. He's
Maybe
a little
the discus.
because he's always in that position. He's like,
Yeah, slump.
Give him about 3 rotations.
Yeah.
Or the hammer throw.
The
Discus
hammer
or
throw,
hammer
yeah,
throw.
I like that.
I could see the Briscoe doing that one.
All right. Let's go to the other question.
Okay.
I like this one. This one's actually kind of fun. All right. You're going to pretend you're Tony Khan.
Okay.
I'm going to pretend I'm Triple H.
Okay.
You get to take somebody from my roster to put on your roster, and I get to take somebody from your roster and put it on my roster.
Right. Okay.
So it's not a trade. We're stealing.
We're
All right?
stealing.
All right.
So I get a stealsies.
You get a stealsy. Here you go. Who do you like?
It's Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I think that's the guy who fits the AEW mold, but can just take it. I go wrong. Let me tag you it.
Yeah. You know what?
Who are you taking from me?
I'm kind of going for the obvious one. I'm going to take Swerve. I think Swerve's on a heater. I think he would be excellent. And with the promo and all that stuff, whose house? The Warehouse.
The Warehouse. That's for you, SoCal George.
There it is. There's the alternate scenario.
Oh, my goodness. Look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's really good to be back. Alternate commentary table brought to you by the McGuire and Wrestling podcast feed. Don't forget a few things. Team MOW on the Facebook page. What else do we got? McGuireShow.com. Do a little search for that merch. McGuire Show dropping tomorrow. Always a good show. Always a good program. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week.
We're the Ouzos. And one last thing. Chair shot. See you next week.
I love how Joe did it the other week.
It was good.
Can I get it?
He wanted a piece.
He wanted